Okay.
Exactly 1 month later, on March 24th, another couple was found. Richard Griffin was 29 years old. Polly Ann Moore was only 17.
Wow.
They were discovered in Griffin's car on a secluded road, and listen to this, both had been shot in the back of the head. Wow.
Goodness. And investigators noticed something disturbing. Evidence suggested the victims had been killed outside the vehicle and then placed back inside.
Like, what is the point of that? Why? Who would go through the
What
trouble
is the reason?
of doing that? And maybe we'll find out as we dig deeper into this story. And so now police had something much more serious on their hands. You know, the first attack, they survived, but now they have an actual double murder on their hands. And so the first attack could have been an isolated assault, but two people were now dead, and the circumstances were very similar. Young people, a secluded road, a nighttime attack, and a killer who appeared to want his victims helpless.
And then came another attack, one that would make the fear even worse, right?
God, how could it get worse? You know what I mean? Gosh, it's crazy.
On the night of April 13th into April 14th, 1946, 16-year-old Paul Martin and 15-year-old Betty Jo Booker were together.
Unbelievable.
Betty Jo was a talented young musician. She'd been playing saxophone with a local band. Paul was her friend. They had no idea they were about to become the next victim.
15 and 16 years old, and it's tragic because their bodies were later discovered at Spring Lake Park on the Texas side. Their car was found nearby, but the victims weren't simply sitting inside the vehicle. Their bodies were found some distance away.
And once again, investigators connected the crime to the earlier murders. A .32 caliber weapon was associated with the killings, so that was one part of evidence linking the happenings.
Right.
And police were beginning to see a pattern.
Now, at this point, we have 4 people dead, and the community was terrified, but the Phantom wasn't finished. Now, think about that. You know, it's a small town, Arkansas, which I know Texarkana could be considered one of the larger little towns, but imagine during this time, you can imagine people were beginning to get very anxious and uneasy about what was going on.
Definitely, with the fact that the police really had not much to go on
at all.
And this phantom killer could have really, literally been anybody.
Well, and you know what happens when word starts to get out?